Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Big Brother Bungalow. This awkward recording position brought to you by Penny the Hound Dog.
So hey everybody, we've been gone for a couple episodes, but we absolutely had to weigh in on what's going on in the house right now because there's a lot. You got Frank, who is, I'd say, rebuilding his game very well. I thought he was an idiot up till this week and seems to be recovering nicely from what would be a game-destroying week.
I knew we were going to see more of Frank, that he was going to do something different with his game when that vote went down earlier this week, because I expected him to absolutely blow up, and the look on his face was, this was coming. This could have been a scenario, and he started to play differently from that moment on. So I've actually been quite impressed with Frank. I think he knows when to push for things, when to pull back. He's not so good at knowing when to not touch people. So he just has some issues with boundaries in general. But I'm digging his game right now.
Yeah, he apparently has like Jose level of understanding scenarios.
Except he actually understands scenarios.
He really does. The other person that we have to talk about, of course, is Tiffany. I retract a little bit what I said about her because she is exhibiting some really good gamesmanship this week. I don't know if it has staying power, but she is telling people what they need to hear, and she is setting up a target bigger than her when coming into this, there should have theoretically not been a target bigger than her. So it's actually pretty impressive how she's playing the cards she's got to quite possibly swing it so that Day goes and not her. We'll see.
We do not find her to be a poor man's Vanessa.
Correct. Vanessa was streaky anyway, but she at least does have some of the strategy that her sister exhibited at points. So good for Tiffany. She's gotten it together. I think, honestly, knowing where people stand has been huge for her, because before it was her freaking out about could-be's and maybes and I don't know.
That was exhausting.
But now that she kind of knows where people stand, she's, working really well with people, with limited trust, and that's pretty nice to see.
That said, I think she only has 2 weeks of usefulness, so I hope Frank and whoever is pretending to be working with her catches on to this. Because right now, she's incredibly useful because she has a lot of information from all these random people she's been working with in the house. So it's really smart for Frank to be working with her right now because she can just lay the intel on him. Now, of course, she has this intel from playing every side of the house. So if he's smart, he gets that intel, he uses this week to maybe even get Day out and keep Tiffany around, and then he lets her loose.
Yeah, I would say she didn't actually do so much. Hi, there's a cat.
It's a cat.
I don't really feel like she played every side of the house so much, because I think that she started out as a player who had her enormous alliance, but she worked strong in that and didn't make a lot of side alliances.
Hang on. We're going to have to fact check you like the RNC. So we've got the big 8-pack alliance she was in, and then she had her alliance of girls, the Fatal Four, Fatal Femmes, whatever they were. Sure. And then she had a 3-person alliance on top of that, didn't she? She at least tried to start another girls' alliance. There were a lot of alliances.
Maybe.
Let's not say there was the one.
But the 5-person alliance was a subset of the 8. Like, she generally had the people she was working with.
But my point is that, so she's working with the 8, but then she's also working with a subsect within the 8. Oh. So we can't say she's loyal to the 8 when she's picking her favorite out of the 8.
As loyal as you can be to 8. Honestly, it was... Yeah, make that face all you want.
Again, RNC rules, apparently.
Yeah, it was... I think she was playing about as loyal a game of Big Brother as you can play. Big Brother is a game of backstabbery and, self-servingness, but...
Your logic is stressing me out right now.
Yeah, fair enough. I can let that go. But I don't think she was as bad at playing all sides as, some of the other players have been. A Day, in particular. She really has been trying to play all sides and trying to hold in that Day explosion, and I think this week she might blow up. And if she does, that could be real good for Tiff. Because the reason people want Tiff out was because she was an emotional powder keg.
She's seriously exhausting.
Yeah.
But let's talk about someone else who's got a pretty good game going on, and that's Paul. So Paul went in pretty strong at the beginning. We thought he was going to Brian out, which is one of our favorite expressions to call back to Brian in one of, I don't know what season it was.
It was Dan's first season, so yeah.
The original He Who Shall Not Be Named season. Anyway, Brian played 2 entire seasons of Big Brother in that first week, and it didn't go well for him. Henceforth, this becomes known as Brianing out. So it looks like Paul was trying to do that to begin with. He was definitely thinking he was running things, playing all sides of the house. Paul has reined it in, and I think is playing a pretty solid game. So shout out to Friendship and the Muffin Man.
Yeah, exactly what she said. First week he was trying to dictate what people do with their HOH if they want it and all kinds of other junk. And now that things have simmered down, he's playing a real strong social game where he is under the radar most of the time, but a valuable ally to people. Other times, just kind of a terrific game. I honestly hope Paul goes far now.
So I'm currently a pretty big fan of Paul E, and Frank. I don't like to say that, but I am. So we're going to wrap this up because this might look like a comfortable sitting position, but it's not. You can now follow us on Twitter. We are at Big Bro Bungalow. You can just spell bungalow however you think it's spelled because I'm not entirely certain that it was spelled correctly. So that is at Big Bro Bungalow. And as always, questions in the comments. You can now send us a message on Twitter too.
And we'll try to remember to put the Twitter handle in the comments.
One of us works in communications. We'll do that.
We're probably not fancy enough to put it in like a, annotation yet on YouTube, but we'll see.
One of us works in communications. I know how to do that.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.